Hey guys, back here for week 3. Obviously, what happened last week happened last week. I shit my pants a little bit. We went 1-2 and lost our 2 unit play. We were down 2.09 units last week, which obviously sucked, but we're still up 2.75 units overall. So at the end of the day, we just got to stay above that Mendoza line. That's our goal, and we'll be profitable. I've got some picks I like this week. So without further ado, I'm going to run right into it. The first thing I want to say is I forgot to mention on the last one. I do love to put out my plays on Twitter. So if you're on Twitter, I do recommend, if you like my plays, if you're tailing at all, give them a follow. I'm at Captain Handsome. That's at CPT _ Handsome. At Captain Handsome, obviously. And if you were following this week, I had a 3-unit teaser play on the Dolphins and the over that hit on Thursday, which I put out. And I also announced a play last week on the Seahawks that also paid off. So if you want to get the whole picture, I recommend following me on Twitter. If not, follow me here. Do whatever you want. I appreciate you guys giving me your opinion on it and stuff. I like that. So let's get into the games. I've got actually a bunch of plays this week that I like. The first one I really like is the Atlanta Falcons, currently at -3. I believe it opened at -4. I've seen it at -4, 3.5 a bunch. It's moved to -3 today, which tells you that the smarter people than me don't like that play, but I do. I honestly think that the Falcons can score at will. I think they are going to be able to score on the Chicago defense, which is good, but not the monsters of Midway of a couple seasons ago. And I don't think Trubisky's going to be able to score at that clip. They weren't able to cover against the Giants without Saquon Barkley. So I don't have a ton of faith in them being able to win this game or keep it that close. I think Atlanta has shown that they, can put up points like crazy. They have a ton of guys with a ton of talent, and Matt Ryan is, one of those unheralded, underrated, over the last few seasons quarterbacks who just puts up numbers and nobody pays enough attention. So I've got Atlanta -3 for 1 unit. The second play I like is another favorite. It looks like I got all the favorites up the top and then the dogs to the bottom of my list here. The next one I like is New England. I know everybody's in love with the Raiders. They love the Raiders. They loved what the Raiders did to the New Orleans Saints on Monday night. Everybody thinks the Raiders are the real deal, and they're 2-0, and the Pats are only 1-1. Well, what do you think is more likely? The Raiders being 3-0 and the Pats being 1-2, or the Pats being 2-1 and the Raiders being 2-1? I know it's 6 points, but what does Belichick do better than anybody? Belichick finds the guy who he needs to shut down. He shuts down their best player, and he uses that advantageously to win the game and take over the game. So Darren Waller's been incredible, absolutely has. Belichick's going to take him away, and with Darren Waller being taken away, that Oakland attack is not scary. I mean, Josh Jacobs is great, absolutely. I'll give him all the credit in the world, and I'm sure he's going to be able to put up some numbers. But they're not going to be able to have monster numbers as long as they can stop Darren Waller or limit him as best they can. Then you look at the other side of it, and who has, a not very good rushing defense, and that is the Oakland Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to keep calling them Oakland all year. The Vegas Raiders' run defense is not good. So Cam's going to have a field day. Sony's going to have a field day. And I think that they're going to be able to put up James White, obviously, as well. Hoping he's doing well. Hoping he's, coming back with a vengeance. Obviously a horrible tragedy. And so I think 6 is an easy number for them to cover. I'd play it up to 6.5. And, I've got that as a 1-unit play as well. And the last favorite I'm taking is the LA Chargers, -6.5. It's another play for 1 unit. They're going up against the Carolina Panthers. And honestly, I would play this up to 9.5. I think the Panthers are going to be so bad. Christian McCaffrey is essentially 2 players on the field. He's their best receiver and their best running back at the same time. How in the world, DJ Moore's going to have to be all world for them to do anything. Robbie Anderson's going to have to stop being a chucklehead and turn into, they're going to need the 3 receivers they have to have such incredible games, even to keep this close. And I just don't think that's realistic. I think, we know Herbert's starting. which, some people will say, well, it's the second week, he's going to be better. For me, I'm actually a little bit worried about that because there's a little bit of tape on him now, but not enough tape on him. There's one game. And yeah, I think the Chargers are going to do what they can to get at the quarterback, which they're very good at. And I think that they're going to be able to score enough points with, their balanced offense to beat Carolina at least by double digits. Like I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if this is one of those 33-3 games or 33-6 games or something like that. I would have no shock at all. So I've got the LA Chargers for 2 units. I said 1 unit initially. It's actually a 2-unit play. Sorry, that's my bad. Also, my next play is I love Green Bay getting 3 points against the Saints. I think if you look at the two teams, pretty decent defenses. I mean, Green Bay's defense has improved the last couple of years immensely. You've got banged up stars. Devontae Adams is banged up. Michael Thomas is banged up. You've got really good running backs. Aaron Jones is having an insane season, and Alvin Kamara is Alvin Kamara. And then it comes to the quarterbacks. And who do I trust more? Do I trust Aaron Rodgers, who's looked all world, or do I trust Drew Brees, who threw a pick to a guy who wasn't anywhere near a New Orleans Saint in the second half last week and essentially not kicked his team in the mouth? I think Green Bay is going to win this game outright. So I have one play on Green Bay +3, and I also have a play on Green Bay's money line, which is +140. The last game that I like is I love the New York Giants getting 4 points. As I was about to do this, I saw that it's 3.5 a bunch of places. I'd still take it at 3.5. I'd take it at anything. +3, I think, is the lowest I would go for the value. But I've also made a money line play. I've got 2 units at the Giants +4, and I've got the Giants money line for a unit. I know that the Giants aren't a great team, and I know they're missing Saquon Barkley. They're at home. And last week, they managed to get a cover out of the Chicago Bears. You look at San Francisco. Starting quarterback, out. Starting running back, out. Number 2 running back, out. Starting tight end, who might be one of the most important players in the league. It's him and Christian McCaffrey for me, out. Number 1 wide receiver, out. 2 studs on your defensive line, out. Everybody is hurt for this team. They're so badly beat up. And these aren't the games you win. They're going to come in. I know they're a favorite because they're very well coached. They have still a bunch of talent on that team. But when you're taking away all of those guys, when you're taking away Thomas and Bosa, and, obviously they lost to Forrest Buckner, or they traded to Forrest Buckner. And on offense, I mean, most of your starters are gone. Like, that's crazy. I think in a season like this where there's so much flux and so much craziness going on, I've said from the beginning, the teams that have the consistency, the teams that have the same system going through, are the teams that are going to win and going to cover. The Giants lost Saquon, but, next man up. Their line is still the same. The quarterback's still the same. Everything else is still the same. If you're going to tell me Nick Mullins is going to step in with, Jerick McKinnon and Brandon Ayuk as his top 2 options, and they're going to be able to do something against any team in the NFL, I just don't see it. So I love the Giants +3.5. I also like the Giants money line for a unit. So I'll recap all the plays again. I've got Atlanta -3 for a unit, New England -6 for a unit, the Chargers -6.5 for 2 units, Green Bay +3 for a unit, and the Green Bay money line at +140 for a unit as well. I've got the Giants +3.5 for 2 units. I also have the Giants money line, which is 155 for a unit as well. So, sorry, Giants +4. I have a marking in there that it's gone to 3.5 in a bunch of books because everybody's probably hammering the +4. So there we are. Again, guys, if you want the in-game stuff, if you want to follow me on Sundays, I tweet a ton about the games. I tweet about in-game plays that I love. So you can find me at Captain Handsome, at CPT_Handsome. Otherwise, guys, thank you for listening. For those who chirp me, I love it. Bring it on. For those who, praise me, hey, thanks. I appreciate that. You guys are beauties, and we'll see you next week with next week's picks.